This video brought to you by jadedpainting.com. If you need your miniatures painted to a tabletop standard, check out jadedpainting.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to another part. This is part 4 of my in-depth review of the new Dark Angels Codex. As always, my name is Jay, and today I will be going over the troops choices, or the technical troops choices in the force organization chart of the Codex. Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you will now know that if you take Azrael or Belial or Samael, you can move. If you take Azrael, you can take Deathwing or Ravenwing as troops. If you take Belial, you can take Deathwing as troops, and if you take Samael, you can take Ravenwing as troops. This is unfortunate because if you've probably seen my other videos, you know I was really hoping that, like Grey Knights, Dark Angels would get Terminators in their force organization chart for troops instead of elites. That way you don't have to take Belial or Azrael and you can take Deathwing as troops like the Grey Knights can. I was kind of hoping that the Deathwing Knights would then become troops if you took Belial, but that didn't happen. No problem. Overall, the Codex is pretty cool, and we'll be going over the troops choices. So those two are technically elites and fast, so we won't be including them today in the review of the troops. Now the troops page, if you can see this, the troops is only a single page, right? So this one's going to be a pretty quick review, and we'll also be going over the dedicated transports because that way it'll be a decently length video. So first of course, we will start with the foundation of any Space Marine army, which is the Tactical Marine, as you can see here. There we go. So the Tactical Marine, here is a sergeant. And obviously the Tactical Marines are the foundation of pretty much any Space Marine army. So of course they are the primary troops choice, once again, of Dark Angels. So a tactical squad begins at 70 points in the Codex, which is great, seeing as in the previous Codex, I believe they started at 90 points base, and now they're down to 70 points, so that's a great 20-point decrease, is always excellent. As you're well aware, with each Codex, GW tends to decrease the overall prices of troops, so you can take more and have to purchase more models, but it's awesome. And you can include up to 5 additional Space Marines at 14 points per model, which again is a decrease. I believe in the old Codex they were either 15 or 16 points, so that's a decrease of 1 or 2 points per model, and that's great. Obviously they have the standard Space Marine stat line, leadership 8. I don't remember if that's the old same stat line, and the sergeant has leadership 9. And their war gear is power armor, bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades. Pretty standard stuff for a Space Marine army. Special rules: and they shall know no fear. Combat squads, grim result. Again, pretty standard. And they also have obviously access to a variety of war gear. They can take melta bombs for 5 points. They can take, if they wanted, they can take a plasma cannon like this one. And this is the one that came in the Dark Vengeance starter set. Now personally, I don't like the idea of taking a plasma cannon in your tactical squad unless you're planning to combat squad them. The reason being is these guys can't snap fire. So if you move your squad, you can't shoot them, and if you want to shoot them, you can't move them. So it's a pretty annoying situation. And I know you can, in the new 6th edition rules, you just have to not move him, and you can move the rest of the squad and you can still fire him, but in the end he'll still be an anchor on the movement of the squad. So if they're going for an objective or another, if they're going to assault someone, these guys aren't very useful. So I like to include them in my Devastator squads, especially seeing as the Devastator squad's got a big decrease in points, but I will be going over that in the heavy support video. So, yeah. And their special weapons, they can have a flamer, a melta gun, or a plasma gun. And they have heavy weapons: heavy bolter, multi-melta, missile launcher, plasma cannon, blast cannon. So that's great stuff. Pretty standard. But I do really like the decrease in troop in points for the Tactical Marines. It'll make them really competitive. I still like Deathwing. I'm a Deathwing person, and right now with the overall popularity of 8p3 weapons, but not with 8p2 weapons, I think Deathwing are going to be more competitive in the end than Tactical Marines. But Tactical Marines are a great, cheap troop choice. You know, you can have a squad of 10 Marines for 140 points, which isn't bad at all, and they'll be pretty hardy and camp on an objective, so that's good. And next, we have a second troop choice. Now, once again, in the previous Codex, there was only one troop choice, which was the Tactical Marines. But in this one, they've moved Scouts from the Elite slot to the Troop slot. So now, Scouts are troops. And they also got a decrease in prices. Well, they used to be 80 points base, and now they are 60 points base. So that's great. Another decrease in price. Scouts, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Scouts because they're 4+ armor save, but they do have access to frag and crack grenades now, so that's great. I don't believe they had that in the previous edition, so that's a great addition. They have Scout armor, bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag grenades, and crack grenades. Excuse me. Sorry. So, and their special roles, they shall know fear, combat squads, infiltrate, move through cover, and Scouts. And they can include up to 5 more Scouts at 12 points per model. So not bad at all. And they also have access to heavy weapons as well, so that's not bad. You know, as I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Scouts, but for 60 points, they're a pretty cheap troop choice. You can camp them on an objective and cover, and that would really help. So that's basically it. There is the troop choices in a nutshell. If you want to bring other guys as troops, you'll have to bring Samael, Azrael, or Belial. But it might be worth it. A good combination of them would be great. Some Deathwing and some Tacticals would probably be really competitive, or some Ravenwing and some Tacticals would be very competitive. So now it's time to go to the dedicated transports section of the Force Organization chart. And as you can see, it has the standard three dedicated transports that a Space Marine army would typically have, being the Rhino, the Razorback, and the Drop Pod. The Rhino got a decrease in price once again. No, sorry, it stayed the same. The old Rhinos in the old Codex were 35 points, and the new ones are also 35 points. They're a standard Rhino, ballistic skill 4, 11, 11, 10 for armor, and hull points 3. And yeah, they're basically just a standard Rhino, and they're 35 points. Great, you know, that still makes them a really cheap transport. I know Rhinos most transports got nerfed in this edition, but for cheap unit, 35 points to get a squad of 10 Tactical Marines or Scouts across the board. Can't go wrong, you know, gets them to where they need to go, so not bad at all. Up next we have the Razorback, which actually got an increase in price. The Razorbacks used to be 50 points each, and now they're 55 points, which is kind of weird. So now the Rhinos are cheaper than the Grey Knights Rhinos, but the Razorbacks are 10 points more than the Grey Knights Razorbacks. So that's a little weird. Once again, transport capacity of 6 models, twin-linked heavy bolter, searchlight, smoke launchers, and you can give them a variety of weapons as well. So that's not bad, and they're the equivalent of a Rhino plus a weapon. So that's not bad at all. 55 points isn't too extreme. I don't see myself taking small squads of Tactical Marines, so maybe I'll take a Razorback just by itself. It doesn't have access to the Psi ammo like Grey Knights. What really makes the Razorbacks amazing for Grey Knights is their access to Psi ammo. So that way you can have, you know, strength 6 or 7 weapons that are twin linked and shooting, and it's really excellent. But for Razorbacks, for Dark Angels, they don't have access to Psi ammo, and so it will be slightly nerfed. So it's not as good as the Grey Knights, obviously. And finally, we have the Drop Pod, and the Drop Pod once again got a big decrease in points. It used to be 50 points in the old Codex, and now it's dropped to 35 points, which makes it more in line with the other Space Marine codices. But that's a great price drop. It's 30% drop. You know, it's not bad at all. And once again, 35 points for a drop pod isn't bad at all if you're running a lot of Tactical Marines, maybe with some Meltas. But yeah, so it's War Gear, Stormbolter, Special Rules, Drop Pod Assault, Immobile, and Inertial Guidance System. Cool. Transfer capacity 10 models or 1 Dreadnought, which is excellent. I think this will be a great combination. I could totally see a lot of people using the drop pods with their Dreadnoughts, because both of them got a really big price decrease. So now you can have a Venerable Dreadnought for about 120 points, put them in a drop pod, drop them on your enemy. Fun will ensue. That's what I say. That'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty good. And that's their dedicated transports. Overall, I'm not that unhappy with their dedicated transport costs. I wouldn't take a Razorback anyway with these guys. The Rhino prices are pretty good. You know, they're still 35 points, not bad at all. I could see myself taking a few of them with Tactical Marines, moving them around the board to where I need them to be, and then unloading them. So that's great. And the drop pods, I really do see the drop pod being used right now with the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is a great unit right now with the new Codex, so I definitely think a Dreadnought could be used with the drop pod. Very, very cool stuff. So that basically concludes my review of the troops choices. And by troops choices, I mean the standard troops choices in the Codex. Obviously, I've covered elites already, and I will be covering fast attack in the following video, and the dedicated transports. So yeah, that's great. And stay tuned for my next video, which will be on the fast attack choices. And please like this video, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to my channel if you already haven't done so. It really does help a lot. So until next time, this is Jay saying thank you very much for watching, and happy painting, everyone.